What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Big Sky here. Here to talk about some sports. Welcome to the channel. We're going to talk about Super Bowl 55. Before we get to all of that good Super Bowl 55 talk, make sure down below y'all like and subscribe, and make sure y'all comment down below and let me know who y'all picking for the Super Bowl and why and all of that good stuff. So let's get right to it. Super Bowl 55. We know what's coming. It'll be coming on February 7th, 2021 this year. Emanating from Tampa, Florida. The two teams involved, of course, we know is the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which means this is the first time in NFL history that there will be a host team competing in the Super Bowl, that being the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, before we get to my predictions, let's talk about how we got here. Now, Kansas City, they are the Super Bowl, defending Super Bowl champions. They, of course, defeated the San Francisco 49ers last year and actually had a pretty good game, 30-20. Patrick Mahomes was doing his thing. He was sensational, as he has been throughout this entire season and even last season. And he took his momentum into this season along with Travis Kelce, who I believe is the best tight end in the game, along with Tyreek Hill and a host of others. And they pretty much have been dominant throughout this entire season. They were 14-2, only lost 2 games. So they were completely dominant, and they were the favorites going into this year anyway. Even though I think the AFC was very competitive this year. You had the Pittsburgh Steelers, who started off undefeated. I believe they went 11-0 or 12-0 starting off the season. You had the Baltimore Ravens with the reigning MVP Lamar Jackson. And you had a host of other teams that were pretty competitive this year. The Buffalo Bills, who was in the AFC Championship game this year. You had the Cleveland Browns, who, by all accounts, was actually very impressive this year. They were second in their division, so they did pretty good, and a host of others that were competing in the AFC. So, but Kansas City stood above them all. Kind of figured that was going to happen. They were actually my pick anyway to go to the Super Bowl. And then there's the NFC. Now, you see my Patriots gear, right? I am a huge Patriots fan. I've been a fan for a very long time. When the New England Patriots let Tom Brady walk, I was furious for many reasons. But the main reason for me was this is a man who, by all accounts, not only has he been your franchise quarterback for the latter part of 19, 20 years, but he might arguably be one of the best, if not the best, quote-unquote football player of all time. And we know the quarterback position is the most cherished position, not just in football, but in all the sports. And he's battled so many other quarterbacks, whether it was Peyton Manning, whether it was Drew Brees, whether it was Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's battled some of the all-time greats. And so you would think that an organization would show their appreciation for Tom Brady, seeing as that this man has won you 6 Super Bowls. And granted, we know football is the major team sport. We know that all facets of the game is offense, defense, and special teams. We know this. But again, the quarterback position is the most cherished position in all of sports. So you would think a guy who has been this great for this long for your franchise will be showing a little bit more appreciation, and they did not appreciate him. For me, it all started with Jimmy Garoppolo, Bill Belichick's whole infatuation with him, and of course, he's no longer with the team. He turns around and goes to the Super Bowl in a couple years. Go figure. So then, Tom Brady leaves. I was angry, of course, but whatever. Even though, me personally, I wanted Tom Brady to retire years ago, but that's neither here nor there. So he goes to Tampa Bay, who was already loaded. They just had a really terrible season the prior year. I believe they went 5-11. Someone will correct me in the comments. But we know that Jameis Winston was famous for going 30 for 30. 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions the prior year. So, but they were, on the cusp of greatness. And I believe that they show potential, especially their defense. You had two stud wide receivers and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and you turn around and you get Tom Brady, and you get Gronk, and you get, Leonard Fournette, and you get all of these pieces surrounding Brady. Meanwhile, in New England, he had minimal help. I mean, Philip Dorsett, okay. Julian Edelman wasn't who he was, in years prior. So they didn't really have too many offensive weapons. So, and he wanted to go somewhere and feel appreciated. I don't blame Brady at all. But again, I wanted him to retire, but that's neither here nor there. So he goes to Tampa Bay. And to my opinion, the toughest division in football. Because not only do you have to compete with the Saints, which was my pick to go to the Super Bowl this year, you also have to compete with the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. Now, I know y'all are saying that division ain't all like what it's cracked up to be, but it's still a pretty tough division. Atlanta's formidable, even though they struggled this year. And, the Panthers, especially for the Saints, is always a tough matchup for the Saints. So I still am under the impression that was the toughest division in football. But with the latest news with Matthew Stafford going to the Rams, that all changed in a heartbeat. But let's talk about that. So we know what the Kansas City Chiefs did. They did what they're supposed to do. They won their division handily, might I add. Went to the playoffs and handled their business. Same with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They went in there on the road because they won all of their road games against the Washington football team, then against the Saints, and then against the Packers. And now, here we are, Super Bowl 55. So, it took me a while to figure out who I was going to pick. I didn't know who I was going to go with because I really like Patrick Mahomes. I think he's the best quarterback in football. I think he's proven himself to be the best quarterback in football. I mean, they paying him $500 million for 10 years. I'm pretty sure he's worth the money. So, but he's already been an MVP. He's only 25 years old. He's already been to an AFC Championship game and 2 Super Bowls. So, for those who think, like Skip Bayless, who thinks he's overhyped, that's completely laughable because I don't know too many quarterbacks in NFL history, even the greats, that by the age of 25 has been to 2 Super Bowls and an AFC Championship game. Just saying. So, I like Kansas City. I like the makeup of their team. Andy Reid is a Hall of Fame coach. I was actually very happy that he won the Super Bowl last year. He deserved it. He's come a long way from them Philadelphia days and almost getting there because he's faced the Patriots in the Super Bowl before and lost. Of course, I was rooting for him, but whatever. But I love Andy Reid as a coach. And then you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Listen, y'all. I was expecting Tampa Bay to be good. Not this good. And they have been fantastic. They have averaged 30 points a game this year. And that's the highest total in Buccaneers history. Brady, by all accounts, at the age of 40, he's 43 years old, still putting up numbers like a boss. And I can't discredit that man. Like, I'm as salty as I am about it, as frustrated as I was watching him win with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, he put on a clinic this year, and I can't help but give this man props. So I'm a little torn. I don't really want to pick the Buccaneers, but I will. Now, I'm going to read off some of Tom Brady's stats. Mind you, this man is 43 years old, okay? The team was 11-5 in the regular season. He threw for 4,633 yards. He threw for 40 touchdowns, and he threw for 12 interceptions. He, again, was absolutely sensational for a guy that is 43 years old. You got dudes half his age that are not putting up those kind of numbers. So, but I'm going to pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and here's why. Number one, they're at home. That's home field advantage. I mean, I would expect them to win the Super Bowl because they're at home, number one. Number two, they have a really, really good defense. I think that JPP, even though he's a lot older, JPP and Dominic Sue are going to cause problems for Patrick Mahomes. So even though he's elusive and, you know, he's able to get out of many, many, many pitfalls when it comes to the defensive line, he's going to, I mean, Sue and them boys is going to go after him. They're a little hungry. That's number two. Number three, experience. This will be Tom Brady's 10th Super Bowl. Experience does matter. Not just in football, but in any sport. And him being so experienced, he's going to go into this calm, cool, and collected. He also has Gronk, who's been there with him, going back to their New England days. And number three, and more importantly, I just think Tom Brady has something to prove. Now, that's part of the reason why I'm also picking the New England Patriots too. Remember, New England let him walk. They already didn't like paying Tom Brady. Tom Brady was never more than the 10th highest paid quarterback in football, which is a crying shame, again, for a guy who has won you 6 rings. So, for me, as a Patriots fan, I'm picking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because I want Tom Brady to kind of stick it to Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick, throughout his tenure with the New England Patriots, the one thing I've hated is how he's felt like he could just pluck anyone into the system and they win. Because everyone loves to point to the Matt Castle season. They did not think that was one of the last times they didn't make the playoffs, and they were 11-5. So they'll point to that and say, well, it's the system that, you know, carried the Patriots. And it's just like, dude, okay, great. But he's proven time and time again why he's one of the best, if not the best quarterback in the history of football. And because Belichick did what he did, getting Jimmy Garoppolo in there, making it seem like Brady was washed and finished, even though this man just got done winning you a couple Super Bowls. Why in the world would you put Tom Brady in a position where he feels like he has to leave? It bothered me. And we seen what happened with I'm not trying to make this a Patriots thing, even though it has a lot to do with it. But I want Tom Brady to stick it to my team. Point blank period. Do I think Patrick Mahomes deserves to win another championship? Of course. And I think that he will have opportunities down the line to win more championships. But I, for the sake of my team, my New England Patriots, want them to just feel the saltiness, just going to sleep at night, looking at Tom Brady holding the Lombardi Trophy and also winning MVP. I can't wait. That's what I want to see. Okay? That's what I want to see. That's just me personally. But I think it's going to be a phenomenal game. I think it's going to be a great game. Both of these teams are elite teams. Like I said, Kansas City, their offensive juggernaut. Tyreek Hill not only is he the fastest player on the field, but his hands are sensational. Again, Travis Kelce is the best tight end in the entire league. They have formidable running backs with Damian Williams. I don't know if Le'Veon Bell is gonna see time or not, but they have him as a complimentary piece. So I think it's gonna be a very, very good game, and I'm looking forward to it. And we're gonna see what's gonna happen. If y'all like this video, y'all go ahead and like and make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. And again, down at the bottom, let me know who y'all picking. Who y'all going with? Y'all going with the Chiefs or y'all going with the Buccaneers? Let me know. I'm very interested. And so let me know down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. And I'll catch y'all after the Super Bowl. All right. Peace.